Good morning, Chris Cast. What's going on? Not much. Not much. Crisis Cast. Why do I say Chris every time I see that name? Crisis Cast. Sorry. Try not to sneeze right now. ah. Sorry. Oh, that's a wonderful way to start off a live stream, isn't it? Huh? Mispronounce a name and then start sneezing. Good job. I am a professional. Not much. Just trying to catch up with people, see how everything's going out there. Hope you're having a wonderful weekend and your Christmas was well. Hope you were able to stay safe and warm. Mama Bear, oh my God. Did you see what happened in Nashville? The explosion of the RV? Yeah, I watched I guess the police coverage, I guess we'd call it, and then there was a series of like a slideshow afterwards of all the different video pictures and SVTV surveillance video footage that was released. Yeah, I guess the RV announced that it was going to explode beforehand, from what I gathered from the news. I don't think anything good's going to come from this. To me, it kind of looked like a trial run for something bigger. I hope it's not. Good morning, Snowy Photography. But it's what it looked like to me. It's if I was thinking of someone wanted to try out blowing something up as a trial run to see just how much damage they could do with a certain amount of explosives. But then again, I just I have that mind set. I hope it's not, though. Did I hear? I didn't hear anything about Bill Clinton. What did that asshole do now? Sorry for my language, but never been a big fan of Bill, even before he became president. Not a political thing like Democrat versus Republican. I just never liked him. Apparently, he died. Well, there's a special place for people like Bill. Sorry for his family. His kids certainly didn't deserve that. His daughter, I mean. I guess the words will go down in infamy. I did not have sexual relations with that woman. God, what an embarrassing time for America. But that's just my own view. Snowy Photography would that's how I told my husband. Mama Bear, COVID vaccine killed him. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't heard anything about it, Bill Clinton, at all. But Rosemary Kennedy, good morning. Hope you are doing well, Rosemary. Reported a hoax. Cherry White. When did Bill Clinton die? Well, Starfire. Hi, Starfire. Good morning. Welcome to the stream. I was just going to say, Rosemary, Sherry, and Starfire, welcome to the stream. I'm glad you three can be here this morning. I hope you had a wonderful Christmas. Di D, good morning. Welcome to the stream. I hope you had a wonderful Christmas. Di D. Well, yes, it's nice to see you again, Di D. It's been a long time, on about 24 hours. But welcome back, all the same. Well, let's see if if Bill Clinton's dead. I'm sure his name pops up on my watch list of famous people. Nothing. Yeah, I put in Bill Clinton and William Jefferson Clinton, and nothing came up. I have a network that I belong to that watches for famous names that come across in the news, and nothing at all there. Audra, good morning. Welcome to the stream. I hope you had a wonderful Christmas as well. Thank you for joining us this morning. But it got leaked. Well, I'm not saying it's not true. Snowy photography. I just did a cursory search of the one program that I watch, the website that I watch. Doesn't mean it's not true. Like you said, they could be keeping it, as quiet as possible. But and again, I don't know who said it earlier, but he did look like he died years ago. Looked kind of like the Crypt Keeper. So what are we talking about today? Nashville, any thoughts? Well, the bombing of that RV in Nashville is disturbing, and as it is to me, this is my own personal view. I don't have anything to back this up, but it kind of screams to me like somebody, maybe a homegrown terrorist or a group, or maybe just a radical individual who is testing out an explosive. Maybe they were trying to see how much damage they could do if they parked an RV or a vehicle of some sort in an area to see how much damage it would do. Now, Timothy McVeigh did the same thing with a panel van. But they didn't bring it into the city. They parked it in a rural area and tried the explosives there. And they also tried the explosives outside of a van before they actually did their dry run for Oklahoma, right? Yeah, I believe it was Oklahoma City. So to me, my own personal thoughts on that are it very well could be someone who is doing a dry run. And they didn't want any casualties because from what I read, they announced that the RV was going to explode in 15 minutes to make sure that no one got near the actual RV. And then as bomb squad and SWAT team was on its way, it blew up. So, but I'm kind of like I wouldn't say I'm a conspiracy nut, but I believe that there are a lot of evil people out there, and they're not just necessarily outside of the United States. Do I believe that it's Islamic terrorists or anything like that? No, there's no evidence to that at all. There are a lot of people right here in the United States that are a lot more scarier than any of these people that are outside of the country. We've got factions inside this country that would scare the living bejeebus out of you. And the amount of guns and ammunition and explosives that they have their hands on right now should scare the hell out of everybody. And I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just saying that's a factual, a factual, bit of evidence for everybody. So it's way too easy to get your hands on a lot of stuff right here. Let's see. Merry Christmas to Starfire 3. Kevin Brand, good morning, Kevin. I hope you had a wonderful Christmas down there in the Carolinas. So yesterday, I was in the live stream. I was telling everybody that we were supposed to get snow, and we got snow here. Here in the desert, we got about 3 inches of snow. Not a lot of snow, but it's a lot of snow for here. But the worst part is we got freezing rain before the snow. Then we got the snow. And then we got freezing rain afterwards. And they're calling for freezing rain today and tomorrow, which, sucks because we have a lot where I live in this area. We have a lot of transport people who have grown up in areas of the United States where they never get snow. And it's a pretty flat area where we live, but there are some hills. And these people, they drive like morons. They all common sense goes out the window. And the news stations and articles are all filled full of crashes from yesterday. I think there was something like 116 different calls from the state patrol out to accidents on the freeway yesterday in the first 2 hours of it snowing. That's just how dumb people are. They don't give themselves enough distance to stop. They drive too fast for conditions. And they've never been anywhere where there's snow. And it's good. It'll get worse. And I was thinking about this morning. I was going to go down and get coffee at my favorite coffee place, which just happens to be across the street from our local Les Schwab Tire Center. And Les Schwab is a place where you can go get tires and shocks and struts and brakes done and stuff like that. That's what Les Schwab is. But mainly people go there for tires and whatnot. But I'm guaranteeing that the line is out the door and then down the block right now. Because as soon as it snows, it happens every time. People panic and they line up and they can't get tires fast enough. Studded tires. But I give it about a week and the snow will all be gone. We won't see any more until probably the middle of January. But that's just the way it is here, weather-wise. Pink Camo, good morning. Good morning, sweetheart. I hope you had a wonderful Christmas. You were able to stay safe and warm. Thank you for joining the stream this morning. Sherry White, thank you. We had a wonderful Christmas. I hope you and your family did also. We did. We were expecting 17 people yesterday for Christmas dinner that I made. We actually only ended up with 16. One was a no-show. He decided to stay home and self-quarantine because his mother is going in for hip surgery, or so I believe it's hip surgery. Maybe it was back surgery. I can't remember exactly, but he wants to make sure that he doesn't, get exposed to anybody that may have it because he wants to take care of his mom, which is understandable. So we made a to-go package of food and with all the fixings and sides and stuff, and then we dropped that off for him. So that was, but it was really nice of him to think that far in advance about his mother and her possible health and who's going to take care of her. But otherwise, it was a wonderful day. My son made out like a bandit. Uh, the grandparents absolutely spoiled him. They bought him just about everything that they could think of that a 4-year-old would want. But in the end, the one thing that he got that he really enjoyed the most, and is probably still dreaming about because he's asleep right now, is I bought him the new Amazon Kindle Fire. It's got the fold-out kickstand, so he can place it wherever he wants, and it can sit by itself. But he loves his little tablets and doing his alphabet and Sesame Street letters and numbers. The program is on it. It can get online, but it can't get you. Nobody can message him, and he can't send emails or anything like that with the kid edition. You can only access certain websites that are already pre-approved by the parental controls. So there's that as well. We don't use it as a like a here's a babysitter, here's a tablet, sit down and shut up kind of thing. I know there's a lot of parents out there that do that. That's reason why I bring it up. But he loves it that and he plays it when we're in a car, going on car rides, and quite a few times, we travel back and forth between here and my sister's home and my niece's home in a nearby city. It's about a 45-mile drive, so it gives him something to do in the car, and he likes to unwind and actually play it just before bedtime. So it's a good learning tool, and it makes him it keeps him educated at the same time, and so he's not like watching YouTube videos, I guess. Not that there's anything wrong with YouTube videos, but I don't think I necessarily want my son watching my channel. Rosemary thinks that it was a Twitter hoax from 2 days ago about Bill Clinton supposedly dying. Good morning, Shine On. Welcome to the stream. I hope you had a very Merry Christmas. Thank you for joining us this morning. We do live in scary, very scary people in this world. There is. It's hot and unconditionally humid here. Oh, I'm sorry, Shine On. Good morning, Cece. Welcome to the stream, sweetheart. I hope you and Mark and your son had a very wonderful Christmas. Hope you're staying safe and warm. Dolores, good morning, sweetheart. And Merry Christmas past, I guess. Welcome to the stream. I hope you had a Merry Christmas, Dolores. Hope you and your family were able to stay safe and warm out there. Merry Xmas. Good morning, all. Good morning, Merry Xmas. Welcome to the stream. Glad you could be here this morning. And I hope you had a wonderful Christmas as well. And then there is Lisa. Good morning, sweetheart. I hope you and your family had a wonderful Christmas as well. Thank you for joining us this morning. I did. I had a wonderful Christmas. Even if I didn't do anything at all, and if just being around my family was more than enough for me. It's just getting everybody home and relaxed. It's kind of a rarity these days, especially having my daughter here at home because she works so much. It kind of worries me sometimes. Easily distracted. Merry Christmas. Hope everyone enjoyed their day. Well, thank you, and welcome to the stream, Mary. Easily distracted. I don't want to say very distracted, but easily distracted. I hope you had a wonderful Christmas as well. Southern Mom, good morning. Hope you had a wonderful Christmas, Southern Mom. Welcome to the stream. I see you. I do. I see you. Welcome to the stream. From over the pond, I hope you are having a wonderful day and had a Merry Christmas as well. Welcome to the stream. Eric Harris, good morning. Welcome to the stream. I hope you had a wonderful Christmas, Eric. You got 5 inches of snow. Yeah, we got just about 3 inches of snow, but we had freezing rain before the snow. Then we got the 3 inches of snow, and then we got freezing rain on top of it. So, and you walk on it, it's like crunch, 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 crunch. My cats don't like it very much. I'm not going to drive in it anywhere. I have home delivery for just about everything that I need. So I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. I'll wait out the week and when it'll all melt. And because we live in what's called a semi-desert, our high plateau desert. So I mean, when it snows here, people freak out, and it's never a good thing. But it's usually gone pretty quickly. Quiet, but good. Thank you. Well, that's good. Merry Xmas. Glad you enjoyed your day. I see you drank too much whiskey, but it was a very merry day. Well, good. Well, I'm not so much about the drinking too much whiskey part, but I'm glad you enjoyed your day. Chatterboxes, good morning. Hope you had a wonderful Christmas. Were able to stay safe down there? Oh, you got snow, Cece? Pink Camo, 2 of your family members didn't make it, so I'm sending everyone good vibes. Wishing it for the new year. Wishes for the new year. Same here. Existential dread. Good morning. It was a nice day. No snow here in California, so it's time to get back to work. Existential dread. Welcome to the stream, and I hope you enjoy the stream this morning. I'm not familiar with the name, so thank you for being here this morning. I hope you have a wonderful new year coming up and stay safe. Oh, floods there. Many are homeless. I'm sorry to hear about that. I see you. Starfire 3, it keeps snowing here in Michigan. Then I see we are getting New Year's Day snowstorm. Yeah, but it is Michigan. I'm from the Midwest myself. It's kind of like we expect it every year. But sorry though that it's snowing like that there. Yes. Did you have a good one? I did. I did. I spent most of the day cooking, but after I got everything done, I was done cooking at about 4, around 4 o'clock. And then from then on, I just relaxed and hung out with my family and friends, those who were able to make it here. But it was a good day. my watching my son tear into his gifts, which was kind of fun because it takes forever. Because first, he realizes he's not supposed to tear paper, so there's wrapping paper on gifts, and he's like, "Do you really want me to tear paper? You keep on telling me don't tear paper. Now you're telling me to tear paper." So that's always fun. And some people, like especially grandparents, they gave him gifts and they didn't realize, you don't need to put that much tape on it. Gift bags are perfect for 4-year-olds. You don't need to wrap everything so elaborately with bows and everything else and so much tape. But he can't get through that. He's sitting there pulling on the ribbons, trying to get them off. And of course, he wants to save all the ribbons, so he saved them all, and he's got them in a big pile in the little cardboard box in the living room. Chatterboxes you cooked for 2 days? Wow. Yeah, we had 2 20-pound hams that I put in the smoker yesterday morning before. Well, I put them in there on low heat before the stream, and then I put the pellets in to smoke them. It's a trigger smoker, and then I turned the smoke off. Then I cooked them the rest of the way in the smoker, and then we had a turkey that I put in the one convection oven. Well, it's a convection regular oven. You can turn it off the convection or not, but I used a convection setting, so it would be done at about the same time as everything else. Connie, Kelly, good morning. I hope I didn't miss you earlier. Either way, welcome to the stream. I hope you had a very Merry Christmas, Connie. Par hola. Well, I'm just looking at the name para hola, like holla. Good morning and welcome to the stream. I hope you had a very Merry Christmas and was able to stay safe and warm and relax. I bet he had fun. My kids want food now. They're all grown. Mm, yeah, we had of the 16 that were here. We had 4 that just kind of came. They ate and then they left. But we kind of knew that. They all had to work yesterday, so I think they had to work at like 6:30, something like that. So they only had maybe about an hour come eat and run. But that's okay. I made sure that each and every one of them took home a container. It's about 6 inches by 6 inches square. They have these lids. I, best best investment I ever made. I bought them at Costco. So they're like a clamshell. That lid stays on it, so it's all one piece, and it's got 3 compartments in it. So you can make a meal and put it in there. But they're about 3 inches deep, and they came in a pack of I think 20 in a pack at Costco, and they're meant to be disposable, but they're such a heavy duty plastic. I mean, not like a normal like Tupperware dish plastic, like heavy plastic like that, but thinner, and obviously meant for is to be disposable. But I mean, you can wash them out. They're you can't put them in a dishwasher because a dishwasher heat will melt them because there's thin enough plastic. But I've bought them a while ago, and I've reused like probably 4 or 5 of them over and over and over again, and they've lasted as long as you don't put them in the dishwasher. Para, I'm getting ready for the boogaloo. Big changes happening around the world ahead of the storm. Hmm. Live in Canada, I would do anything for sun and sand. A lot of people are like that at this time of year. Snowy photography. There is a lot too behind the seasonal depression for a lot of people because you don't get to see the snow. I mean, you have snow all the time and cold. And you don't get to be able to get out and enjoy life as much, and then and see friends and family. So there is really a seasonal depression. I depending on where you are, yeah, up north in Canada, you may not be able to well travel around as much. Have different methods of travel. Morning, K Love. I hope you had a Merry Christmas, K Love. Thank you for joining us this morning. Happy holidays. Shine on. Borders closed. Stop me spending the holidays with kids and grandkids and hubbies, Muslims. So this year, Esmond was stressed, panic free. Oh, sorry, Shine on. I didn't know about that. Well, got to make the best of it. Good morning, Gayla. Welcome to the stream, sweetheart. I hope you and your family had a wonderful Christmas. Thank you for joining us this morning on this stream. But Cece, you're exhausted from Christmas. Vitamin D, we should all take it. Yes. You would be surprised. And that's a very valid point about vitamin D. I read an actual study it's a peer review study from I can't remember the three doctors that co-wrote or co-authored the study, but it was something like 60% of all people in the world are vitamin D deficient. 60% don't get enough vitamin D. And vitamin C is right in there as well. And you would think people, you can get that just by going out into the sunlight, which kind of always, made me wonder. When the shutdown started, the governors across the United States were like, okay, no outdoor hiking, walking, or going to the beach or anything where you would have social distancing anyways from other people that you don't like or know. So we're gonna close that off. So I mean, it even made that even worse. I guess it exacerbated that those who are not getting any sunlight anyways, which made their deficiency levels even higher. It is. It's definitely needed by a lot of people. I mean, everybody from Joe Rogan on have been preaching for years that we people need to take some kind of a vitamin D and C supplement. And I mean, they're not doctors, but they're still trying to get the knowledge out there, the word out there that people need to do it. And then there's clinical science behind it, peer review articles and papers that have been written by doctors who know what they're talking about. Good morning, Julie. I'm sorry if I missed you earlier. Welcome to the stream. I hope you had a Merry Christmas. And Tracy Ann, good morning. Welcome to the stream, Tracy Ann. I hope you had a Merry Christmas and you were able to stay safe and warm with your loved ones. Debbie Gilligan, good morning. I hope I didn't miss anybody. I'm trying not to. Oh, there's one. Wendy Claire, good morning. Was horrible husband's grandfather passed away while we were driving home Christmas Eve. Oh, I'm so sorry, sweetheart. Well, God bless you all, and I hope that you guys were able to find some way to put closure to the tragic passing. Just know that your was it your husband's grandfather? Yeah, your husband's grandfather. Just know that he's in better hands now, and and I hope he didn't suffer at the end at all. But I hope that otherwise you were able to enjoy yesterday somehow, some way. It'll get better, sweetheart. Truly, I take 10,000 IU a day, regardless of going out or not. My doctor recommended 5,000 IU for teen during CV. Anyway, I don't know what the recommendation should be, but uh, part of that article that I actually read that was by those three doctors in their peer review article was that a lot of doctors they miss vitamin D deficiency levels and vitamin C deficiency levels in their patients because they're just not looking for it. And unless you bring it up and actually talk to your doctor about it, itself, directly to them, like, can I get tested for this? It's a very simple, test from what I understand. I mean, obviously I'm not a doctor. I don't work in a laboratory. My wife and all my, in-laws do, and my daughter, they all work in the medical field. I don't. Shine on where I live, you still can't go into a bank, but that's funny though. You wear a mask going into a bank and leave poorer than they entered. Our banks are still not open where I live. You still have, I haven't been able to go in to the lobby of the bank since March. Everything is either done on the phone or through an ATM. I can't get into my safety deposit box to put because I have titles to vehicles and stuff like that that I keep in safety deposit box. I can't get in. They originally they set it up. You made an appointment, and the appointments that they wanted were Mondays and Tuesdays at noon. And I'm like, I can't make it at noon because my son was still going to school at the time. And he was that's when I was taking him to school. He had to be there at noon. So, and then they closed that down completely, at least in the area where I am. Oh yeah, you did. Yeah, I mean, I know it's a blood test, but I don't know much more beyond the what they do beyond that. I just know it's done by a blood test. That was in the article. We have a contagion at the moment. We are very contagious at the moment. Wow. Sorry to hear that. I see you. It's true about banks. Yeah. What state? I live in Washington State. It's on the west coast of the United States. Nurse Bev, good morning. Sorry I missed you earlier if I did, but I hope you had a Merry Christmas, Nurse Bev. Oh, I don't know if it's that. We're open, but we again now locking down again. Yeah, the governor here is you never know what he's going to do next. Oops. I was reading those and went by. Scroll back up. Banks are open, but won't be again. Now locking down again, Nurse Bev. I'm sorry. I've been literally nowhere except rides up through town. Yeah. Gayla says you're loyal to all of us. I'm very loyal to my fans. I mean, I want to be here, and I know people they want to see these morning streams, on Saturdays, and I want to be here because I enjoy them. So I think it goes both ways, Gayla. I'm loyal to everyone because I want to be here, and they're loyal to me because they want to be here. I think we all have a great time on these streams. We'll keep the drama out as much as possible, and just a friendly conversation amongst friends. Something to rely on. Wasn't sure if it was fake news. Thanks guys for sharing. I know I can't take any more. Yeah, it happens. Liquor stores are doing damn good business here, which is going to be very interesting because I'm sure the alcoholism rate is through the roof. It's got to be through the roof after this COVID lockdown. I know that from what I was reading in the paper, just about my area. I don't know if this is across the country, but domestic violence calls have just skyrocketed. Here, and those are some of the most dangerous calls that a law enforcement officer can ever show up on. Is a domestic violence call. I'd get into the statistics with everybody, but a lot of people just don't care. In this day and age, so many people want to hate my friends and family who are in law enforcement, and everyone in law enforcement because they believe, that 0.1%, of the bad apples that are out there, make every one of them, that are out there, equally as bad. We don't do that for doctors. More people die at the hands of medical malpractice every year than they ever do, in police shootings. But we don't, put the pictures of doctors on posters downtown, and plaster them. We don't have riots over it. And that's very stoppable. We don't have to have medical malpractice where doctors kill patients every year. It's all you have to look at the entire thing. I'm not saying that systemic racism isn't real, and that racism is not a thing. It's all how you look at it all, and where you actually put and this is my own view, by the way. It's how you picture the entire thing. If you want to see that one thing is more evil than the other, you're going to see that. But keep skyrocketing in COVIDs. It's scary. Were you in West Virginia? Yeah. Well, we every day in the front page of the paper, they have a total of the new cases of COVID from the day before of positives. And my wife she works in a pathology laboratory, and they have almost completely the entire company in every one of their satellite labs and processing centers. That's all they're doing is just testing and processing COVID samples because it's skyrocketed here. Recently, we saw a larger spike than we did back in March and April. And that's scary because people they're just not learning. They don't care. And a lot of it had to do with during the political, run up for the elections for the presidency and governor's races and everything else here. There was one side that advocated social distancing and wearing a mask and taking care of yourself and limiting your risk. And then there was a whole other side of those who were running against them who took a stance in the opposite direction and said that wearing a mask and social distancing is, it's all, somehow taking away your constitutional rights. And they played that side. And so many people went to this side and they got it. And case in point, there was a wedding where they said, you know what? We believe that the masks and everything, this is all made up. So they had a wedding. 300 people showed up at that wedding. And I think they said at last count, it was 156 people of the 300 people at that wedding tested positive for COVID, and 18 people died. How would you like to start off your nuptials, in your wedding with your new wife or husband, knowing that 18 of your guests who just attended your wedding are now dead? Those friends and family who showed up at your wedding are not going to be there. Live with that. And I don't know about anybody else, but that's not the way I want to start off my wedding. In my future with my wife, it'd be like, hey, you know what? Let's kill some of our friends and family off so we can be self-centered enough, and have this beautiful grand wedding. I'd hate to have that on my conscience. Wendy Claire is not going to get the COVID shot. Chatterboxes, your liquor store is making more off of you. Well, the liquor store here is making a good, I wouldn't say a killing off of my family, but they're making a good amount. I know we bought a whole hell of a lot of wine for yesterday. See, 16 people that were here. There were 2 minors out of 16. One is 16, and then my son, who's 4. But everybody else was an adult, and just about everybody had wine or hard cider. I'm not a big fan of the hard ciders, but I had one anyways. Damn, well, you're killing us with that. I said, nah, you are immune now, LOL. Easily distracted knows many good cops as well. Same here. Got a lot of friends and family in law enforcement. Good morning, drama must remain on the stage. Good morning. I hope you had a wonderful Christmas. Hope you're able to stay safe and warm, and you got everything that you wanted. And thank you for joining us this morning for this stream. Glorious Gonzalez, Merry Christmas, and now irresponsible. Merry Christmas, and now how irresponsible. How is, I don't know who you're talking. You must be talking to someone in reply there. Are you talking to me about being irresponsible for yesterday? I don't think so. I did more for to check for people were for COVID than anybody else. Nobody came into our gathering yesterday without getting their temperature checked at the door. They all had to agree that beforehand, a week before, that if they came up, and we have an app on our phone from our state that showed that if you were anywhere where you could have been exposed to COVID-19, that it gives you an alert that you had a possible exposure because you were at some place. Every person who came through the door had to show us their smartphone, so we checked their app to make sure that none of the guests coming in were exposed to COVID-19 or been anywhere for the last 7 days prior where COVID-19 had an outbreak, and they had been. All the guests that came yesterday were the same way. No one was exposed. And we have 3,000 square feet of downstairs and family room and other area in the home, and but not a basement. Like a it's 3 steps down, and it's another family room. But and we offered social distancing for everybody who is here. I don't think that's irresponsible. Oh, the wedding? Yeah, that well, even that wedding, those people at the wedding who were socially irresponsible. They they just didn't care. They actually interviewed the bride and groom, and they watched their videos, and it wasn't that they didn't care. They just they believed that it's all made up. And their sources for that the COVID-19 was made up is that they don't know anybody in their age group that had ever gotten COVID or gotten sick from it. That is what they said. And so they believed that it was all conspiracy. The people are like that. There are a lot of people out there that believe that the entire thing is made up and that you know, it's not going to affect them or their families. Well, thank you for the super chat, Pilot Pete. And I wish everyone took as many precautions as you will. Hope you had a fabulous time. Much love to you and your family. Thank you very much, Pilot Pete. Yeah, we did. I think everybody who was here had a great time. It was relaxing, and it gave everybody a certain peace of mind, knowing that we were taking the steps that we did to keep everyone safe. Everyone who was here, not only did they come here and eat, but and we made sure everybody who was here took home, one of those containers or 2 containers full of food. And because a lot of them who are here are unemployed, they're making it, one unemployment check to the next, and that's how they're surviving right now. And so we did as much as we could, to spread the holiday cheer and not spread the COVID-19. Sorry, I have missed a bunch of comments, but really quickly, I just wanted to say good morning, Karen Gillette. I hope you had a Merry Christmas and you were able to stay safe and warm. Thank you for joining us this morning. There's another one I think I just saw that's new. Gloria Gonzalez. I gotta scroll back up here. Sorry, I missed a whole bunch. It just went. Mike Stevens, good morning. Hospitals and flu shots is mandatory for nurses and staff. Yeah, we're slowly getting the COVID shots for nurses, for frontline workers, they call them, because nurses in the hospitals are first, then laboratory sciences and those who work in end of life care, and then those who work in other facets of healthcare are getting the shots first. And first and second, I guess you could count that as first and second. Excuse me. And then school teachers are next, and then as they get the next shipments after that, then they'll slowly work their way out into the general public. Our local hospital here is, I think for bed space, they're at 90% capacity right now. Even though I know another YouTuber who, even though that the hospital is at 90% capacity, this asshole, and I use that word because that's what kind of person this guy is. He actually stood outside the hospital, and he did a video of himself on a selfie stick, showing the parking garage empty. But when he was there, He showed up what just after morning shift, before afternoon shift started. So the parking garage is empty at that point. And my wife worked in that same hospital for 25 years. And I know exactly where he was when he filmed that video that he put out. And I know exactly what time he did it, because there's a security guard that drives around the parking garage. And there's also another one who's at the guard shack when you pull into the parking lot for the parking garage. And that car is not there. That car is not there only when it's like one shift is done and the security guard drives around the complex, the floors, in the parking garage. So that car's not there. So he's showing the end of and he's panning around with the camera on the selfie stick and showing all the empty parking spots. He's like, if this hospital is at 90% capacity, why is it there's no cars here? We're all sick people. Oh, it's all bullshit. And he's rambling on about that. And I'm looking at the back and I'm like, oh, you're there at the end of shift. Oh, that's odd, because that's the only times that car, the guard check, is not there. 25 years my wife worked there. I know when that car's there. But people believe it. They want to believe that it's all a conspiracy. It's like a prenup agreement. Is that like a prenup agreement? Hello. That wasn't an awesome idea. Well, yeah. Oh no, it was something that we planned out when it came to yesterday's dinner. Pink Camel, we planned this well in advance. We wanted to make sure how we could do it as safely as possible, and still offer and have people around so they could social distance. And we made it. We offered everybody when they came in. We had a box full of masks, of N95 masks and latex gloves. Everybody got hand sanitizer, and instead of like a flower bouquet on the table, there was a little wicker basket that had hand sanitizer and wet wipes in it. And everything, we bought a bunch of those Lysol wipes. So periodically we moved people from one area to the other and cleaned everything, wiped everything down. When you have an entire family who works in the medical field like I do, they take this stuff seriously because they know the real numbers and what's real and what's not. There's a lot of misinformation about it. And, I could try my best, but I would never be able to truly, express just how awful, and how fast it spreads. And I've already had COVID. I mean, I survived it. It was awful. And I don't want to go back, and I don't want to see anybody else suffer through it. And I can't imagine what it'd be like for somebody who already has a pre-existing condition that's even worse than my medical conditions I had prior to it. So, it's an awful thing, and it's what the world we live in today. We have to take precautions. I am really sorry if I missed a bunch of comments and posts, everybody. I'm trying to scroll up and down through this while I talk to read them. Mike Stevens, my nephew refused to wear a mask and he thought it was a hoax. Yeah, I've met those people. Unfortunately, on Facebook, I learned that I have quite a few friends who are the same way. Never thought that I would have, when it came to something like this, when it came to a medical question, that I would have friends who would believe that it's a hoax, especially in like they know my phone number. They can call me up or come on over anytime they want. And they can ask my wife, my mother-in-law, my daughter, my sister, all of them work in the medical field. And they'll straight up tell you, between the two of them, between my mother-in-law, my wife, and my sister, we're talking 60 years of knowledge from in the medical field, and two of them have experience working with the CDC, but they still believe it's a hoax. A lot of people, I don't necessarily want to point fingers at one person, Excuse me. But yeah, he didn't take it seriously. He still didn't take it seriously for a lot of things. I would hate to be in his position. I tried it for the first time on Christmas Eve. It's strawberry cream with a splash of tequila. It was pretty good. Are you talking about the pumpkin thing again? I'm sorry. Lisa Irwin. Excuse me. Good morning and welcome to the stream. I hope you had a wonderful and Merry Christmas. And next, the real duct tape bandit. Welcome to the stream. I hope you had a wonderful Christmas as well. And I welcome you both to the stream this morning. Mike Stevens is afraid of the side effects of the vaccine. I have an opinion about that, but I'm going to withhold my opinion, Mike. I talked about it a little bit yesterday, and I got some messages from family who were in the stream yesterday that I did, and they wanted me to kind of ease off on that a little bit until I know more information. And that is true. I don't know, and I am the last person to take medical advice from. I mean, I say that every time. I don't know about the vaccine. I don't know about the side effects, and I shouldn't speak about if I'm going to take it or not because I don't know. All I know is how they have to ship it. I know it has to be shipped frozen. So I don't know if you guys are seeing the same thing, but my stream it starts and then it's going by in like large chunks. Conspiracy people have as much time on their hands that they are more likely unemployed, sit around loving off the government with nasty house because all they do is think up stupid conspiracies. It could be. I'm sure there's a lot of that plays into it, real duct tape bandit. Even after COVID, Eileen, to wear a mask if not feeling well helps with colds. It definitely does. It's definitely, if you wore a mask, it would certainly lower the amount of transmissions of the seasonal flu and cold. Definitely would. Lisa had a wonderful Christmas. Good. Glad to hear it. You had a wonderful Christmas. One of my favorite YouTubers just got over the virus. He's doing well. That's good. I know quite a few people who got it. And people who have YouTube channels, and also on Instagram stars, I guess you'd call them. They used to be Vine stars, if anybody remembers Vine, but they went from Vine to Instagram. Are there 4 companies? I only know of two companies that are making the vaccine, but I didn't know there were 4. I had a great Christmas, but it went by again. I had a great Christmas, but you sound like you're getting a cold. Nope, I'm not getting a cold. I'm just sitting here, sticking this damn lit thing in my mouth, and which is slowly killing me day by day. Me, I see you. Me and my wife we got warned by YouTube when we did on our podcast, the Taco Podcast. The other channel here on YouTube that I have. We got warned by them. They sent a very. I wish I had it. I wish I knew. See, unlike Cece, she can do all this stuff where she can pull things up on the screen. I still don't know how to do any of that stuff. I keep on telling myself I'm gonna sit down one day on StreamYard and figure out how to do all that, screen share and all that. And I still haven't figured it out. But either way, well, we got a stern warning from YouTube to stop talking about COVID-19 and spreading misinformation. They actually warned us. That's why we haven't covered COVID since then. We've covered it a little bit here and there, but every time we put it in the title or in the description, the words COVID-19, they send us the same message over and over again. They haven't taken us down, and I don't know of any channels that did get taken down for it, but I'm sure there are. That's one of the things you're not allowed to talk about. They want to keep it, on a approved list, I guess, of doctors only to talk about it. They don't want anybody to talk about real life experience with it. I just read a very interesting thing about Russian roulette, Nurse Bev. But the history of Russian roulette. How many people do you think actually have really played it in real life for a situation where they were forced into it? They can document 4 cases in history where somebody was forced to play Russian roulette against their will. 4. I'm gonna still read into that some more. It's very interesting. I always thought that it was a lot more prevalent than that. That you always get these pictures of Vietnam, the Viet Cong are holding them, a prisoner against the war, a prisoner in war situation, and forcing them. But because I saw that in movies, so I thought, it had to be real. I thought it happened a lot more than that, but there are only four actual proven documented cases where it happened. It might be a lot higher than that for all I know. Maybe that was the only 4 that they could find. I think it was on the History Channel that I watched. It was like documentary about war and devices, of torture. It obviously it wasn't a documentary that anybody really would want to watch, but unless you're into that kind of stuff, it interests me. YouTube is changing. I don't think in a good way. It'll be interesting to see how 2021 is. Snowy photography. Yeah, you know what the biggest change that's already gone into effect is? YouTube is now running advertisements on channels that are not monetized, like my Taco Podcast channel. There are ads that are running on my Taco Podcast. I get absolutely nothing from at all. Neither does my wife. We are not monetized. We do not even have 1,000 subscribers. So we're not eligible. We're not even part of the YPP, program yet. But they're running ads on our podcast episodes that are on YouTube. And they're making and keeping 100% of that ad revenue. And if we get to 1,000 subscribers, they're not going to go back and go, we ran, ads against all your content for the last, 2 years. Here's that money. Nope. There's no retroactive, back pay on that stuff. But that's one of the new changes that went into effect already. And content that has been deemed not monetizable or unlimited or limited to in fashion, where you can get YouTube Premium, they're keeping all that YouTube Premium money as well. So yeah, there are changes definitely coming, Snowy Photography, in 2021. I don't know if I know some of the changes that are coming down the line, but I'm not gonna talk about them yet. But I want to see how it shakes out, if they're going to change them or not. There are other changes to the algorithm that is going to make it harder for smaller channels under 10,000 subscribers to be found in search and discovery. There are changes that are coming where if you're starting a new YouTube channel, it's going to make it harder for you ever to get into the YPP program, which you have to be in before you can become monetized. They're kind of putting the brakes on how many channels are going to be accepted into the program eventually. And they're just like true crime, we're never going to be in the trending tab. We're never going to be in certain areas of discovery. We're never going to be suggested out to a million different connections for sponsorships and through ad placement or sponsorship deals through YouTube's brand source. We're never going to get mentioned through there. Not a single channel. And I'm talking everyone from the Stephanie Harlow, all the way down from the 3-4 million subscriber count channels in the true crime area, all the way down to the lonely startup like Chatterboxes. No one is ever going to be mentioned for brand deals through their program. If they want to sponsor you, they're going to have to come to you, or you're going to have to go to them. YouTube is never going to go other way to sponsor or suggest a channel where content is maybe not suitable for all audiences. And that's one of the changes that are coming down the road in 2021. November 2019, sick as freaking dog with a cough that lasted 3 months. Wow. You were? I'm sorry about that, Nurse Bev. COVID, C, new name. COVID Divo, C. I got to get ready for work. One of the coworkers was exposed to the virus, worked with her the day before. She told our employer another coworker was also exposed, but she is still coming in to get food. I'm sorry about that, Duct Tape Bandit. You stay safe out there. I love makeup and true crime. LOL. That is for if you look at the top channels in the true crime genre, just go to YouTube in the search box at the top, put in true crime, and then click over to the 3 little dots, probably 3 little dots that you see, and you can narrow the search down and then click on channel. If you look at all the top YouTube creators out there with the 1,800,000, 500,000 subscribers in the true crime genre, every one of them is a makeup, lifestyle, clothing, true crime channel. Every one of them. Bob Ross has 100 million subs. I think he died 20 years ago. Yeah, but Bob Ross is worth it. We're gonna put a tiny little tree right here. Doesn't that look lovely? And now we're gonna shade this just a little bit so the reflection is in the water. People want to tune in for that. They want to listen to Bob Ross's voice. It's so soothing, especially and it's interesting if you know his background. Brand new tube. I see you. Plastic rubbish. It's all makeup and crafting. There's a lot of makeup and crafting channels out there, but it's always been that way. And but the largest majority of channels that are out there on YouTube are review channels, tech review channels, gadgets, software, stuff like that. And then after review channels, it is clothing, makeup tutorials, and then lifestyle channels. Those who have, you know, 4 or 5 million, Instagram followers. They have a YouTube channel where it's a video component along with their, condensed version that they may be putting out on other social media along with Instagram. A lot of Vine stars moved to YouTube and to Instagram after Vine, went down. And that's what it is. ASMR. Yep. I never knew what ASMR was until this year. I had no idea. What is ASMR, Wendy? Think of it as soothing, relaxing content. There's no loud bangs. There's no, emphasis on voice or words or anything that's startling. I'm not entirely sure myself because some videos that are ASMR, are drum beats, or it's thunder and lightning. And I put it one time in the search box or keywords, I can't remember what it was, and I got my butt chewed by these people who are like really big into ASMR. And I'm like, really? I don't even know what the hell this is. It was just a suggested tag. So I put it in there. But you live and learn. Oh, sexy Will. Okay. Bob Ross, I loved him. Connie Kelly, that's why I love watching Bailey Saran. She's great. I've watched some of her videos. Decent, kind people. Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. I really like to. I enjoy watching content. I split my time on YouTube. Besides, when I'm not actually doing these live streams or making videos, my time on YouTube I split between watching comedy, stand up comedy. Now, I really like the dry bar comedy out of Utah. I like it because you can see comedy done, and I can watch it with my son in the room because there's no swearing or the vulgarity in the comedy, and it's just funny, the stand up comics. So I watch that. I watch a lot of I don't try to I don't want to give the wrong impression of what kind of channels they are. I watch automotive channels, but they're there's a channel out of Minnesota, and it's called Vice Grip Garage, where he tells you right up front, I'm an idiot. Don't do what I'm about to do. And he kind of pokes fun at the lexicon of people from Minnesota, but he makes it entertaining, and you never know what he's going to do next. But I watched content that's like that, so comedy, that kind of content. And there's other channels besides Vice Grip Garage. I'm not going to run through all my subscribers, subscriptions, but and then documentaries, and then what do they call it? Metal detecting. Like in the UK, he started off as doing metal detecting videos, but now is him and his fiance they live in an RV and they travel around the UK. His when he was a metal detecting, he was called Deep Digger Dan, for metal detecting. But now they're the travel trolls. I like Idaho News, Secret Santa with Nate. Oh, Nate from East Idaho News. Nate's a good guy. I've actually talked to Nate quite a few times during my research and everything on the Lori Vallow case. He's very approachable. You can reach out to him on Twitter, and you can reach out to him on through his email link right there on the East Idaho News. And he may not get back to you right away, but he's very approachable. He comes off and he seems to be like a really nice guy. And I say that because I've talked to a lot of reporters over the last couple of years, running this channel, and not every reporter has the time or wants to take the time to try to answer questions from the general public. And there are those like Nate who actually go out of their way and they're like, hey, you know, you're looking into this case too. What do you think about this? We can shoot, back and forth some, a message here or there. I try not to be a thorn in his ass, but he's very approachable. You have to see Brian Regan. So funny. Brian Regan, the comedian, I've seen him do stand up with, oh gosh, what the hell was his name? He was a Marine. Damn it. I'm drawing a blank on his name now. I saw them in Las Vegas. It was about 3 or 4 years ago. We were down in Vegas visiting my grandmother. She worked at Circus, and it was it was after she retired. She worked in the ticket office there, but we were down there, and I saw Brian Regan, and I can't remember his name. He's done quite a few movies too, but it's going to come to me later on. It is, but very, very funny guy. Good morning, Pokemon Go. I hope your Christmas was wonderful. Hope I didn't miss anybody else. I've been trying to watch it. Wonder Woman 77. Good morning. And Merry belated Christmas, Wonder Woman. I hope you had a wonderful day. Welcome to the stream this morning. I hope you were doing well this morning. Bad language makes you cringe. Why do people think they need it for you to understand what they are saying? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I always refer back to George Carlin. I mean, his comedy overall was clean, but he never understood why certain comics had to be vulgar. But there's to each their own. I guess there's certain aspects of certain people like to hear that in comedy. Some people don't. When it comes to like dry bar comedy, I watch it on YouTube because I don't want my 4-year-old son learning those words. And right now, everything that comes in his ear comes right back out his mouth. He hears something, and if it catches him, and he's like, "Oh, what's that word? I don't know that one. I'm going to repeat it." Because that's not what I need him going to school, and dropping F-bombs all day long at school. So, I want to watch comedy, with maybe he's sitting there playing, doing a puzzle or something, and I'm watching it on YouTube. I don't want him repeating what he learned or heard. So. Bye, Pink Camo. Happy New Year to everyone. You stay safe out there. Stay warm too. Jeez, it's getting cold. No tablet until parental stuff is right. Oh, the tablet, Wendy. The tablet that I bought my son is an Amazon Fire. It's the kids edition. And it before you can even turn it on, and you turn it on, and you have to set up the parental controls before you can do anything on it. And but even if you don't, even if you skip everything in the parental controls, it's already limited to, it only allows certain apps, for like PBS Kids, and to other programs and sites that are already selected for children. I don't know. I'm trying. But yeah, we actually restricted even more. We turned off the messaging, so it doesn't matter where he is. No one can message him. He can't message anybody. And you know, we learned the hard way with that one. We gave him an old cell phone, and we didn't think that he could do anything with it except for punch numbers, or look at YouTube Kids that was on the phone, the app itself. But interesting note, even an old dead cell phone that's been off of the network for years can still call 911, and it costs $75 if your 4-year-old child dials 911. If it's not on an emergency, that's what they charge here, $75 for a call, hang up 911 call where they have to dispatch somebody out because it wasn't an emergency. We learned the hard way on that one. Your granddaughter is literally addicted to her tablet. She told me she loves me more than her family. Well, because you're a great grandmother, Gayla. That's why she loves you more. Yeah, you should see my son when his grandmother comes in the door. It doesn't matter what he's doing. He could be totally engulfed in what he's doing, and he just sprints to the door to see grandma. He adores his grandmother. Glad you're not raising children nowadays. It's no different today than it was, in the '80s or whenever you raised your children. It's not any different. You just have to give them the same morals and ethics, and teach them the same way your parents taught you. The '90s. Oh, she loves a tablet more than you, Gayla, but I'm sure she loves you still all the same, if not more. Takes a village to raise a child. I don't know. I don't know about if it takes a village. I mean, I know that saying though. Takes a village to raise a child. I mean, me and my wife, we raised our daughter. She's 22. She'll be 23 here shortly, and now we have a 4-year-old son. But we have just about the same support network as we did then. That when it comes to my son, though, unfortunately, he's got far less grandparents around now than my daughter did growing up. My daughter, she had grandparents from both sides of the family. The only grandparents she has left now is her mom's side of the family, and my mother. My mother's not. she's not there mentally where she can actually help do anything or be of much of a value. She's a head trauma survivor. Gloria, good morning. I hope you had a wonderful Christmas, Gloria. Then welcome to the stream. Me and my family, we had a wonderful Christmas. We had a wonderful Christmas. We didn't do a whole heck of a lot except for I made dinner. We had friends and family over for Christmas dinner, and that was about it. And then we just relaxed the rest of the night. Lisa, good morning. How did that happen? So many years apart. Yeah. Well, we decided that after my daughter, we're like, yeah, we're gonna wait another 20 years plus, and then we'll have another child. No. No. How did that happen? The answer is really simple and kind of shocking at the same time. You have to know a little bit of the backstory behind that. So this is what happened. Is what me and my wife we had our daughter. We're living life, getting by, trying to do the best thing we can, and working, saving, doing what we should have been doing all along in our lives. Trying to make the best of it. And then one day, my wife was taking a shower and she found a lump in her left breast. We went to the doctor about a week later, and they did a biopsy of it, and they found out that it was cancer. And it had not only was in her left breast, but it had worked its way up through the lymph nodes, and she had two choices: either complete removal of that breast or both breasts, or she, and on top of that, start radical chemotherapy and radiation. So we then spent the next 4 years battling cancer and return of the cancer and fighting all the side effects of it. And during and just after the chemotherapy was finished and the radiation was finished, the next place that the cancer was most likely was going to show up was uterine. So she was supposed to go in for a complete removal. And when she went in, to the day of the surgery, the pre-check-in blood work, all the other vitals and stuff like that, they checked her temperature and they said, we can't do it. We can't do the hysterectomy and everything else because you have a temperature of, I can feel it's 101 or something like that. And we can't do it because it would be a risk to you to have it done right now and put you under for, the surgery. So they said, we're going to reschedule it, for a week out from now or 2 weeks out. I can't remember exactly. It might have been 2 weeks. So they then scheduled it. We came back in 2 weeks, did the blood work. Temperature was good, and we were waiting for the blood work to come back. And we're sitting there, and then they came in and they said, "We can't do it. We can't do it now." And she's like, "Shit, now what?" And I'm like, "Shit, now what?" I thought the temperature. She didn't have a fever. Nope, no fever at all. We can't do the hysterectomy because you're pregnant. Now, because of a pre-existing medical condition that she has, she was never supposed to be able to have a second child. Our daughter was born by cesarean, but it had nothing to do, with why. But she wasn't. The likelihood she was never going to be able to carry, or have another child. But the chemotherapy and the radiation completely jump-started her, her entire system all over again. And voila, now we have a 4-year-old son. That's how it happens, ladies and gentlemen. God looked down upon me and my wife and said, "You have too much money. You need to be poor, and you need to be broke and work paycheck to paycheck the rest of your life." And I said to God, "Really? Okay. But can I have something nice?" And he said, "You will get what you deserve." And I said, "Shit. Well, I guess. Well, let's do it. I've got all this love and this time and attention that I can put forth for another child. I guess. Let's do it." So we have a child. We have a 4-year-old son. What a life. Life is how it happens. Oh, good morning, Lynn P. And welcome to the stream. I hope you had a Merry Christmas. If you all haven't checked out the Taco Podcast on YouTube, you should do that. Me and my wife have talked about this, entire thing on our podcast, and all our podcast on YouTube is just me and her sitting around this table right here that I'm sitting at right now, or well, on the other side of this window where that tree is, there's actually another studio. So there's 2 studios here here now, and we just sit around and talk about life. What is it like for a middle-aged couple to try to raise a 4-year-old son? What is it like dealing with the news and everything else that's going on around us? It's just me and her, 2 down-to-earth individuals talking about what is going on in our lives, in the world around us, and how are we going to survive through all of this, turmoil and ups and downs and twists and turns. Taco, TACO space podcast, PODCAST. I'm still surprised. I know a lot of people are turned off by it because for the longest time we had a lot of technical issues with with everything, but we figured it out finally. It took us probably about we did what 47 episodes now, but they're probably, I want to say, 20 episodes where we had some serious audio issues where the volume is a lot lower than it should have been. But we've definitely figured it out, especially the last like 5 or 6 of them. We figured out how to solve the problems, and a lot of it was my fault. I will freely admit to that. And the other part of it is how YouTube accepts RSS feeds for podcasts. They convert everything from one format to another, and it automatically degrades the quality when you're directly feeding to an RSS feed to YouTube, because they're a video. YouTube is a video platform. They want to see video, visual. People come here to watch a video. Is she in the stream? Sorry, I got to scroll up to see if somebody's here that I may have missed. Gayla Denson, all my son's children are 7 years apart with the same wife. Wow. Yeah, that's a good way to have them every 7 years. Keeps you humble. Oh, it definitely keeps you humble. I don't see her here. Either that or she hasn't commented. I'll have to reply back to her in a little bit here after I'm done with the stream. Albie and I are going to watch the Taco podcast about the bossy coworkers. Oh, yeah. Terrible bosses. Yeah, we've had some over the years. I was worried when you were having issues with your channel. I was praying that you stuck it out and stayed up with us. Oh, I ain't going anywhere, Wendy. I love this. I love what I'm doing. I do. You know, that's just another part of life, isn't it? You know, we all have setbacks, and we have to triumph over them, or we have to be steamrolled by them. Excuse me. I refuse to, lay down and let things like that or anything in life really get to me and and knock me back and hold me down. It's just who I am. We have to learn how to learn from our mistakes and learn from what happens in our lives and make the best of it. Like all of us only get a short time on in this life of ours, so make the best of it. Wendy Claire, I have watched the Taco podcast. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I'll check it out. Check out the Taco podcast. I mean, I'm terrible at self-promoting myself, but I just really think that a lot of people will get more enjoyment out of it, and they definitely will from here on out. Now that we finally figured out, the technical issues and how to fix them. When it comes to like this YouTube journey that I'm on, there's no handbook out there that says you do step 1, 2, 3, and 4, and you got to get those ones right before you move on to the next ones. There are a lot of channels out there that'll try to tell you how to fix it and what to do, to make it all work. But I still haven't found one that shows you, look, you need to make sure you plug that coax cable into this output and this input into that one. Nope. And then do a sound check and video check and lighting check. Nobody tells you that stuff. Your grandsons are 23, 16, and 9, Gayla. Yeah. That is some serious, interesting years. 45 thumbs up. 45, 44. You learn as you go. You're right, Elisa. And, learn from your mistakes and your setbacks. Hi, Queen C. Good morning or afternoon. I hope you are doing well. I hope you had a very Merry Christmas, Queen C. Welcome to the stream this morning. Oh, thank you, Lynn. I appreciate that. I hope you enjoy the content. Leave a comment, and if you watch a video, leave a comment. We love to hear back from people. And if you have a suggestion for a topic, or anything you'd like to hear us talk about, please. I want everybody to leave a comment, and tell us give us feedback. We can't improve that podcast and anything until we have to hear back from people, and we want to. And January, we will start our streaming service back up. Right now, it's only on YouTube. I got my notebook open here, trying to find the page in it. We signed up for. If anybody else out there is interested in this, you might not be. Maybe you want to do a podcast by yourself, or your husband or your wife. But we just signed up for Red Circle, RED, red is in the color, Circle. And they are a podcasting hosting website where they'll push your podcast out to all the other podcast providers out there, SoundCloud and Sound, iTunes, and everything else. But they're an excellent service, and so. But we'll start back up in January. But right now, the episodes are only on the podcasts are only on YouTube. We were on SoundCloud and Spotify for a while, but they're going to push it out to those for us. So right now, there's going to be like a gap of like 10 episodes, and then after the new year, the feed will be picked back up again. I had to figure out the technical issues first, and get the audio correct, because nobody wants to listen to a quiet podcast. Maybe they do if they're into ASMR, but we weren't trying to make an ASMR channel. We were trying to make a podcast where people can actually hear us. You've missed us, Queen C? Well, we're here. Try not to go anywhere. Why that? Oh, it's because it blocked it momentarily, Chatterbox, because it was at Wendy. I have a channel, only one new video last year. It's old stuff from my former life before Idaho. Write it down. Just make sure. Irwin. I will definitely check out your channel if I haven't already. I look at a lot of channels. I watch a lot of videos from content from a lot of different channels, especially subscribers. I go through my subscriber list every week, and I bounce around and check out different channels and content. And I comment, when I like the content in the channel and what they're doing. Some have true crime that they're doing, and others have different content. One channel that I watch, all it is her taking care of her horses. I don't like horses because they smell like horses, but that's just me. I mean, my sister has thoroughbreds and riding horses. I'm not a horse fan, but people have to have horses. They for different things. Just my name, so boring. There's nothing boring about that. That's actually a great idea, and suggestion. If somebody is starting a channel, start off with your name. It's easy to find someone's name, as opposed to I subscribe to one channel, and I'm not joking. Every single letter E in the title is a number 3. So if as an example, it's the word learn instead of LEARN. You learn something. It's L number 3 ARN. You put the word learn into the search box, it doesn't come up with anything. You have to know that this guy has done this on purpose, and he is holding himself back. And he's like, well, I don't know why I don't have, as many subscribers. I'm like, I got an idea. How about you spell the words correctly instead of putting numbers in there? We're not looking for the artist formerly known as, Prince. We're trying to find you. Sorry, that's just my little rant. I just got notice on my TV. Someone wants to share my screen. I have a smart TV. What's that all about? Anyone? I don't know. I have a smart TV, and I don't know what if that's an actual setting. Are you on YouTube on your screen using your TV as a monitor? I don't know. I wish I could help you with that. I see you. I would highly suggest if you don't know who it is, don't click on anything. That's how you go down the rabbit hole I've had the last week. Oh, I thought I was something kinky, so I never asked before. I'm not sure what that's about. I don't have any videos yet. Queen C, if you need help, message me. I'll help you out. I'll give you advice on whatever you might have questions about. I'm always willing to help you, sweetheart. Just relax. Be yourself. If you do nothing at all, just point the camera or your iPhone or whatever, just pick it up, and just look at it and pretend you're talking to a friend or a loved one, someone you've known your entire life. And then after you're done, just hit submit. You got it. Trust me. Everyone, if you ever start a channel, you're gonna start off and you're gonna look back on those first videos and you're gonna be like, what the hell was I doing? That is so awful. Listen to my speech pattern. Listen to how I put this, and you're going to critique yourself to the end of the earth. And every channel is the same way. Nobody starts off hitting it on 100% across the board. No one. Big YouTube channel is some people that I've actually talked to in person, like Casey Neistat and stuff like that. They all say the same thing. You're never going to start off hitting it at 100%, and then you're going to look back on your first videos and either cringe at them or laugh at them that you ever put that content out. I still have one or two of my first videos from 2 years ago on my channel. The other ones I took down. That was me. But I look back on them and I'm like, no, man, the video quality and what I was doing was terrible. The first dozen videos that I shot, I was at work and I was shooting in a warehouse space with an American flag behind me. And if anybody remembers those, and I was just me staring at in this little tiny corner nook because it had the best sound quality where it wasn't as echoey. And I shot those all on an old Android phone, and I had taken a coat hanger, for where the hook is on a coat hanger, left it on the rod, where it hangs over the rod, and I'd taken the coat hanger and I bent it straight down like this, and then bent it up so it made like a U shape, so it would hold the phone like that in a coat hanger. That was my first attempt at anything before I bought a tripod or anything. I made it work for me. And then after I moved out of that little space area at work and I shot some videos at home, I took books, made a stack of 5 books and then a stack of 6, and then took a roll of tape, a little piece of tape, and put it on the top of one of the books or the back of the book so it wouldn't damage it. Just a little tiny piece, just so it stopped the phone from sliding off of it in case I bumped the table. I didn't see either part. Scroll back up here. Yes, YouTube on my TV. Are you broadcasting on it? I see you. Either way, I wouldn't click on it. It should show you the name or the name of the person who's wants to do a screen share with you. Maybe you have another app or something on your television. I don't know. I'd just be guessing at that. I wouldn't click on it though. Well, thank you, Snowy. I have too many interruptions to make any videos. 3 grandchildren, haha. I don't want to broadcast grandma wipe my butt. I did when I shot them at work. And I think the first dozen videos were all under like 6 minutes in total length. They have opening, ending, everything 6 minutes. It was the total length. You can find 5 minutes somewhere. After your grandchildren are asleep, um, do it before you go to bed at night, first thing in the morning, whatever. And if you really want to do it, you can find 5 minutes to shoot a video. It doesn't even have to be 5 minutes. It can be 2.5 minutes. You just have to start. And then once you start, and if you really enjoy what you're doing, then keep at it. It's not YouTube is not for everybody. Doing Facebook Lives is not for everybody. But if you enjoy it, doing it, why not? I encourage everyone to try it out. Everyone has a voice, and you have experiences in life that that other people don't have and have never had, and they may learn from it. Think of it. Think of it as a Think of it as a smartphone, only bigger. Oh, are you talking to I see you? I declined the invite. Strange. Never happened before. I have on our smart TV in our living room, we have a Zoom on our TV. And I know you can get invites on that if you're Zooming. People might want to join in on a Zoom if you're doing it. It'll pop up that hey, but it tells me the name of the person. But we use the television as the monitor, especially when my son was doing homeschool. It was a lot easier to do Zoom there until I set up a little area. It was kind of like an L-shaped desk that we have, so I can actually kind of corral him and keep him in there, so he'd be, because otherwise he'd just wander off, and I would sit with him. Yeah, just talking to yourself out loud. You got a thought that crosses your mind about something that's happening in your life or the world. Just talk to your phone like it's a friend. How would you express what something that just happened, like the bombing in Atlanta? What are your thoughts on it? Maybe you have a perspective on it, and that is different, or maybe it's the same as everybody else's. Wendy Claire can handle smack talk pretty well. You like the Big Brother vibe? Well, thank you, Queen C. It's good advice, Wendy. You will. Well, Chatterbox is getting better. Me and you can always find me and Cement Shoes over on her live streams. Me, I'm too tech dumb. I spend all the time trying to find out how toss. Oh well, I'm 54, stepping out of my box. It feels good. Would love to have you covering the news this week, but my best too far so far. You're doing a great job with the content, Chatterbox. I haven't been on the last couple streams just because I've been busy dealing with all everything that's happened, but I try to make it over there, just like cement shoes. I will block porn links and mean people and subs. Yeah, you can. There's a whole thing you can go into on YouTube where you can block certain keywords. You can block links and stuff like that. To anybody posting it in the comment section, they can post it and they think that that other people are seeing it, but it doesn't show up. And for majority of people here in the stream right now, um, links are blocked, but my moderators have the ability to post links, and you can set it up that way. It's all through the setup of it all. I made a video on how to do that before, but it didn't go over very well because you have to understand 90% of my community here on this channel are here to watch the content because they want to talk about or want to hear about true crime. They don't want to hear about how to be a good person, and how to help others set up YouTube channels. So some of it I stopped posting altogether, and now I only post it to channel members or to Patreon or to the YouTube. Well, I guess I could post them in my true crime group on Facebook. Chili Chrissy, good morning. I hope you had a Merry Christmas as well, and welcome to the stream. I hope you are staying safe and warm out there. When it comes Chatterbox, I was going to reply to the part about being tech dumb. Sweetheart, you don't have any idea. I'm right in that same boat with you. I can't figure out my stupid cell phone. I was talking on the stream yesterday about that. When I got my new phone, what I buy only when the other one stops working for some reason, or something is broken on it. But to transfer the phone numbers from one phone to the other, I got out a notebook and I was writing down people's names and their phone numbers because I couldn't figure out how to transfer them from phone to phone. My daughter came over. She hooked up a cable from one phone to the other phone, left swipe, right swipe, or up, down, or something. And just like that, all my data, pictures, and everything transferred from one phone to the other, and all my contacts. And I'm like, is that it? She's like, oh, yeah. She's like, I can't believe you didn't do this. I'm like, I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know there was even an option to do that. She's like, Dad, it's so simple. Because it's so simple to them because they've grown up with cell phones, and this technology. I always tell people I'm an analog man living in a digital world. Google everything, Wendy. Yep. Without Google and YouTube, I'd be lost in so much. I learned how to fix my truck, put a hitch on it, do the tune-up on my wife's car. Not the one that she has now. I mean, you can't touch that damn thing at all. You open it up, there's just a giant sheet of plastic underneath the thing. You can't even check the oil on her new car. It doesn't allow it. Everything's done by computer, and it tells you on the screen, how much longer you can go before oil changes, and you have to get the oil changed at a service center because there's no dipstick, nothing on them anymore. Can't check the oil or transmission fluid. You can add water to the windshield washer fluid, or windshield washer fluid into the reservoir, but you can't do anything else. You can't check the water, you can't check the oil, can't check the transmission fluid because they don't want you to, because apparently it voids the warranty if you do it yourself, or whatever the reason is. I think it's because it keeps people in a job, and they can charge you a heck of a lot more because they know you can't check it yourself. Libby is an analog girl living in a digital world, and I am a material girl. I got that song in my head. Thank you very much, Madonna. Digital. It's a great song. I haven't heard that in a while. I should listen to it after the stream. Julie, Head Company, back. Oh, Chili Chrissy, my son had an excellent Christmas. The grandparents have spoiled that little man so much. They bought him a lot, an awful lot of stuff. The grandparents did. They went above and beyond for him. But he got all kinds of things, clothes, throw blankets. He got another weighted blanket. For anybody else out there that may have an autistic child like I do, they make a weighted blanket. It's actually got so it's a blanket, but I think it's got sand in it, but so it actually adds weight to it, and it soothes them when they're sleeping because the weight it makes them feel safe and comfortable. But he got another one of those. He really likes it, and he drags that damn thing around all over the house. Kind of like was it Linus from Snoopy, from Charlie Brown. But he's kind of like Linus, dragging that blanket around everywhere he goes. But he got that, and he got a bunch of toys. His grandfather bought him one toy that I'm pretty sure he is never going to be able to play with. It's a bazooka that actually shoots tennis balls, and you pump it up, and then it will shoot tennis balls, like full-size real tennis balls. I'm like, I'm going to lose every window in my house with this. So that went straight upstairs into the closet until he's 10. Well, what weight for kids? What weight? I mean, are you talking about the weighted blankets? Yep, I am in Washington State. Originally from Wisconsin, Minnesota and Wisconsin, and I've lived out here for quite a few years. Not the the best area for me, but this is where family and work is and everything else. Trust me, I would have moved back to Wisconsin years ago. Probably about 26 years ago. I would have moved back there if I wouldn't have fell in love. But I fell in love with a woman who lives here. Her entire family is here, and this is where her roots and everything else was. And I said, you know what? I'm going to stay here. So well, go eat, Wendy. I'm about to wrap up the stream here in a little bit. I have to get going myself. Erica Hansen, Minnesota here. Family in Wisconsin, love them all. I've in Minnesota, I've got family from the Twin Cities and all the surrounding areas: St. Paul, St. Louis Park, Minneapolis, Edina, and staying around there, in that area, all the way up 94, going up to Little Falls, St. Cloud, Brainerd, International Falls. I've got family in Stacy, Our family farm is in Prescott, across the border in Wisconsin, and I've got family from in Wisconsin going all the way up to the Great Lakes, to Milwaukee, all over. I mean, it would take me all day to list where everybody is at in the state of Minnesota. Erica, I mean, I love that. I love being there. I love the weather, the outdoor activities, which is what I grew up doing. Out here, man, there isn't a lake for anywhere near me for 80 miles. I think 80 miles is the nearest lake. Got rivers, but we don't have any lakes. And you spend your entire life growing up, with and especially in Minnesota, I've got 10,000 plus, lakes, and then being able to fish any time I wanted to. East St. Paul, for you, my in St. Paul, my grandmother's house is downtown St. Paul on Sycamore. So it's the last street before the train tracks, looking over at the Capitol. Her home is now part of the historical society there. If you and I'm not sure if you can still take tours or if they're still offering tours of it, but you can check this summer. Once everything opens back up, hopefully. But when my grandmother sold it to the historical society, they found a tunnel that goes from underneath her house, underneath the train tracks, and comes up underneath the Capitol. It was a bootlegger's tunnel for moving moonshine back and forth between the two locations. But they also found boxes and boxes of dynamite in the basement. So that was really fun. It all had turned to nitroglycerin, but when they found it all. I mean, we lived the opposite end of Sycamore, on Sycamore there, and near the cemetery in the Catholic Church. But our house is not there anymore. The house that we lived in, it got tore down a long time ago. I spent a lot of time in downtown St. Paul. Matter of fact, when I was in high school, I went to, I hope I get this right, because you have to understand, I attended a lot of different high schools, not because I was a bad student, it's because we moved around a lot, and especially after my mother started working for the government. But I want to say it was Harding High School in St. Paul. Eric Hansen, you went to Stacy to cut down your Christmas tree? That's where my sister lives, is in Stacy. It's a nice little community up there. Well, Wendy, her channel name is exactly that, Chatterbox, or is it Chatterboxes? Her icon is just her. Oh, she's still here or not? There, I'll make it easy. I'll drop the link in here. Just give me a second. Why is it doing that? I filtered by channel. Okay, she changed her icon. That's why. Okay, here's the link. Here's the link to channel Chatterbox's channel. Go check her content out. You changed your icon and I didn't know. Sorry, sweetheart. Oh, I want people to check out your content. You're doing a great job over there. Just give it time. Pick one thing at a time to check on, to work on. You'll get it in time. Oh, not me, Nurse Bev. Not a chance I would ever do that. Blow a gasket over mentioning other channels. No, no. It may be a downfall of mine, but I'm a decent person, and I'm here to help other people. I'm not out for my own gain. I mean, I need to make a go of this. This is all I do for a living. But what's to stop? If I stopped other people from talking about other channels in my streams, what good is that going to do me? That's just a selfish. I'm going to use the word here. That would just be a selfish prick of me to do something like that. Other people have, and who knows, maybe they'll like, the other channels. Doesn't mean they can't subscribe to my content or like my channel. I'm not telling people you're only going to like me. You're only going to listen to me. I want people to go out there and find other content and explore other creators. Is that really a channel, Mike? I'll show it if it's really a channel. But I highly doubt that is someone's channel. I'll check really quick, and then if it is, Mike, I will we'll see. Nope. Mike, this is what it says. But funny out the same. No, I'm a very humble individual. Katie or Catty. Well, we got Catty Marlowe. Catty. Oh. Oh, shit. There's music playing in that one. No, I didn't get any results with that one. Kathy, her channel is with the V. There it is.
Welcome back, all souls, trolls, and assholes.
Oh.
That's right, it's me again, Katie.
I think I found it, Mike. Wow. All right. Well, since it's a real channel and you want us to talk about it, there it is. I'm gonna have to. I've already page marked it. I'll go back and watch it later on. Then I don't know if everybody's gonna like the content of that channel. But, to each their own. I don't know. She got a lot of videos. Apparently, she's got 3 other channels. She's got Band Miss Wonderful Official YouTube, Miss Effin Popular channel. Oh no, I don't know if this other one's hers. That may that's just a featured channel that she likes. Just curious. Some people are bar hopping, and I don't get it. I always stay home. It ain't bar hopping here where I live. All the bars are closed, but you can pull up and get shots of tequila and vodka to go. No joke. You can pull up and they have curbside service where they'll come out and and deliver you beer, wine, shots, mixed drinks to go. She has some 500 people in her lives, which she has 6 times a day. Wow, that's a lot. Good for her. Well, like I said, Mike, I'll check it out after this stream here, which I do have to wrap up here in about still 5 minutes. That's her genre. She's wild. It seems to be working for her. What does she have? 48,200 subscribers. So, I mean, she's doing something right. Excuse me. And an open container of alcohol, but the state they tweaked the state liquor laws for open container as long as it has a lid and they don't put the straw in the container with the lid. It's not an open container. Just for the COVID, so certain bars can stay open, and still have services. Isn't that just ridiculous? Nurse Bev, you're sick of Watts. So am I. Michelle P. She got a DUI on Christmas Eve, didn't she? I don't know. Mike says, "Are you answering yes to that?" Well, there's absolutely no reason to ever drink and drive, ladies and gentlemen, unless you live in the middle of freaking nowhere. And I'll tell you right now, I watched a YouTuber do a live stream the other night, drinking and driving. A live stream on Christmas. It was their Christmas special, and he was drinking a beer and driving. And I was like, "Are you freaking nuts?" He's like, "I'm in the middle of nowhere. There's nothing but cornfields around me." I'm like, "I don't care, you asshole." And I'm like, "You should have seen the comment section." And he's just totally oblivious to it all. But that was live on YouTube of him drinking and driving. Insane. I'm a wise ass. That's what we love about you, truly. You're you. Be you. What? I never said I never wanted to hear another damn thing. Oh, maybe I never signed into stuff on TV. All right. I was just kidding. I don't. Maybe I missed something there. Truly. I'm happy, like the meme says, I'm happy that I grew up in a time, where there wasn't a camera everywhere. I did some pretty embarrassing things when I was younger, but I hope that I've learned, the errors of my ways over my lifetime so far. But still, there is no excuse to ever drink and drive. I would never do it. Me and my friends, we might sit around and get absolutely hammered around this table. We're not driving anywhere. We don't have to take care of any minor children. And every time I do it, with my friends, my son is nowhere around. He's not here, or he's asleep, or somebody else is taking care of him, my wife or somebody else, grandma, someone. I do not want to do that around my child. But that's just me. That's the way I live my life. Children, they pick up on these things. They pick up on them pretty damn quick. People don't think that children understand a lot, but they do. They do. They understand a lot. Just like, when there's turmoil in a household, they pick it up. They understand. Hey, there's Cement Shoes just waking up. I don't know, Cement Shoes. I got about another 40 seconds, and then minute and 40 seconds, then I have to go. But you can watch this all back and rewind. But I hope you had a wonderful Christmas, Cement Shoes. Hope you're, staying safe and warm out there. Wendy, I have no intention to, cover anything more on that case. But at the same time, I brought this up in my live stream yesterday. Every single day, somebody is always sending me something, about Christopher Watts, or this story, or Shannon, or his mistress, or something. Somebody's always sending me something, another article, something. I want them to send me, articles, stuff like that, or what's coming across in the news. They're asking me what my take is on it. And I reply back to a lot of it individually, and I don't do video content on it. And then there are things that pop up in the actual news, itself. And a lot of it I read about, and it's like, I have no interest in doing anything else on Christopher Watts. I want to end it. I want it to go away. But unless something truly interesting comes up, I don't see any future, content on it. But at the same time, I have to understand, I have to balance that with, there are a lot of people out there that really do want to, keep up, up on what's going on in the case, and where the next movie, or documentary or book is coming from. Is there any basis to it? Because people are interested in it, and they still are trying to somehow, along with all of us, we're all still trying to make sense of it all. And we may never have the answers, but we're trying. So I have to wrap this up, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, everyone. Zelda, good morning, sweetheart. I have to end the stream now. Sorry. But hope you had a very Merry Christmas. You and your husband down there in Oregon. But everyone, thank you for joining me today. I really do appreciate it. And I hope you all have a wonderful week. I do not think I will have any content between now and after, until after New Year's. I still can't get my editing software into it to actually do any videos, unless I shoot it on my phone and do it, and then post it, unedited. I don't see anything new coming out between now and after New Year's. So that's just the way it is until I get everything back, and we get all this squared away with what happened from the, being hacked. So in the meantime, stay safe out there. And remember, for New Year's, please don't drink and drive. Call, a designated driver or somebody to come pick you up, but just do the safe thing. But in the meantime, stay safe, everyone.